Hey, what's up, guys? Boys Kills here. Today, I will be giving you guys a little bit of a nice basic tips and tricks video to play Dahlia and Rogue Company. Now, Dahlia came out last week, and I've been meaning to do this video ever since she came out. So, let's just jump right into it. So, the first and probably the most important tip I will give you, yes, right off the bat, is not to insta-lock Dahlia like I just did. Now, this gameplay is from probably the day Dahlia came out, truth be told. And because of that, everyone's rushing to pick Dahlia to give her a shot. And now looking back at it, picking Dahlia is a fantastic pick, but only when you have the right characters around her. Now, let me explain. As you guys know, or may not know, Dahlia's ability allows her, like you're going to see right now, link with a character. And by linking with that character, you basically take their passive ability. As you're going to see now, I'm going to link with the Ronin. And pretty much that's going to give me the underground passive, which keeps me off the radar. And so, by doing that, and by knowing that, it is not smart to insta-lock Dahlia unless you're playing in a pre-made squad. Just for the sheer reason that if your team picks characters that don't synchronize well with Dahlia, then your effectiveness is only going to be so great, you know? So essentially, that's just something to keep in mind, but that is pretty much the biggest thing to keep in mind. Uh, and the top people to link with Dahlia are going to be number one, by far, Lancer. If you have a Lancer, you definitely want the Dahlia to play with the Lancer because of just the rollability and how effective that is in general. I think by far that passive ability is the best passive ability in the game. And so it's only silly not to take advantage of it if you have the opportunity to do so. Second, I will say low key trench. The fact that you're able to have, say, two grenades when everyone's expecting you to have one is such an advantage because you're able to basically, at least for that life, manipulate enemies to go one place by throwing a grenade, and then you can shoot them on their way to wherever they're trying to rotate to get out of the way of the grenade. That's just sheer effectiveness of grenades in general, and you have two of those. Third, I will say I got lucky in this one. I will say Ronin, but that's to be determined because I don't know the effectiveness of that perk. Now, right now, you're about to see a pretty cool clip. I picked up Chalk's gun, and I kind of went a little crazy, and I'm going to go a little crazy with the MX in a hot second. But reverting back to my topic, basically, Ronin is subject to, I guess, further explanation. Here comes a chef's kiss grenade. Perfect. So pretty much, I did something about grenades in this game that, don't get me wrong, I love sticky grenades. I love playing Lancer. But when you get a nice, precise grenade, and like I said, I love sticking people with sticky grenades. But when you get that nice cooked grenade that hits off the wall, and then you hear that pop, and the kills come up, there's something about that, man. Let me tell you, it's just so satisfying. But like I said, moving on, I got off topic like I always do. But with Ronin, her ability is to be determined because I don't know how effective that really is. I'm assuming that when you shoot, you're off the radar. Like anytime you shoot, you're not on the mini map. But that's as far as it goes, which isn't bad. It's not the best. I wouldn't put her above having two grenades or having Lance's roll. And even arguably, I will say I will throw a star in my top three. I'll throw her alongside Phantom. Because having that ability to just damage someone for an extended period of time and that give you or your teammates some time to push them is pretty good too. You can almost play her like a sniper. The only other issue alongside that would be the pure fact that you already have a sniper. And I'm going to get to that in a second with team compositions, and I guess I can get into the whole team compositions now, because I think that's so important. Just not just with Dahlia, but with Rogue Company in general. So when you play Rogue Company, of course, there's four people on a team, and team compositions, aside just general metas and picking characters, is really important for the sheer fact that you don't want to have four people that sit back in terms of play style because of the guns that they're given. I'll give you an example. We'll say Trench, Saint, Phantom, and Dahlia, for example. That would be just a very abnormal comp that really has no viability, in my personal opinion, for the sheer reason that there's no close range. There's absolutely no way to fight close. And there's, as a result, there's no pushing the tempo. There's no pushing people that are low. There's no attacking res attempts. There's none of that. There's no taking points. Everyone's kind of hesitant. And you can't blame them because all their playstyles are really, really laid back. And because of that, I don't even like running two people that are back, arguably. And by back, I mean DMRs or snipers or anything of that sort. I don't like that because basically you're leaving the load for your two other players that are playing alongside you. So this happens to me a lot. Or sometimes I'll play with a few friends. You'll have one friend that wants to play Phantom, for example. The other one wants to play Saint. Now the issue with that is if I play, no matter who I want to play, say Lancer, I almost feel forced to play Lancer at that point. Or I'll play Ronin, which is my main. If I play either of those characters, I need the second person with me to play a rush character so that we can push the tempo. So that pretty much limits them to play an SMG unless they're going to play aggressive with an assault rifle, which is possible. You can play DMR and that happens normally. But the issue is when the two of us die, then it kind of stalls the push, if that makes sense. The push gets stalled, and as a result, it just, the push just dies down. It's like, shit, we gotta wait. The best way I can really put it is you're playing Overwatch and your tanks are dead. There's no way you're gonna push the supports and the DPS alongside it, for the sheer reason that you're just gonna go up and die because you're not equipped to take those fights, which are the close range fights when you attack the point. So that's the whole method behind me talking about team composition here. So when I play Dahlia, I take extra note of that because I do think, just from playing her a little bit even, I don't have a lot of experience with her. I have a few games under my belt. I do not like that SMG. So playing her close range to me is not feasible whatsoever. It just doesn't work. It doesn't. I think it does a 9 damage a side headshots, and you got to shoot them a bajillion times to get a kill. And by then you can use any other close range gun, whether it's Chalk's gun, whether it's Lancer's gun, whether it's Ronin's SMG, and you'll definitely get that kill before Dahlia can. And if you try to fight that fight medium range, forget it. You're just tickling them. As even if as if close range isn't tickling them, doing 9 damage a shot. So when I play Dahlia, I have to use this MXR. It is a melt machine. You can literally destroy someone so fast. But of course, the downside of that is that you can't play push. Spraying with the gun is a gamble at best. Just like spraying with any DMR, it doesn't work. The only spray DMR that I could say you have a good chance of playing close medium ranges would be the one that I forgot what it's called, but it's the one that Saint and Dima have. It's that 3-round burst. It's the Mamba. That's right. That gun is definitely the best DMR in the game because of how versatile it is. You can destroy people in like a half a second. I don't even know how else to say it. It is so good, and the spray close range is extremely effective. That's the only one I could say, you know what? If you're gonna play push, you could. Of course, it's much better medium range. You can destroy someone trying to rotate out of a position. But at the same time, close range, like, don't sleep on that weapon. That weapon is definitely, I have to say, top 5, definitely top 5 weapon in the game, if not top 3. It's just so effective. So when I see people using Saint, using the M4, it's almost like, ugh. It's like, well, you don't know, man. Like, that gun is so good. Dima, I can understand if people use the AK. The AK is, in my opinion, also on that list of the best weapons in the game. That gun is, the accuracy on it and the amount of damage you can do. And even with the nerf, I just think that gun is also I would say top 3 weapon in the game overall. So with that said, Dahlia, I have to use his MXR, and so because of that, I don't like pairing her with with a phantom or a saint or anybody who is, who plays back or has to play back because of their character. A trench. So that's why I'm iffy with trench, unless you're really gonna play Smash Mouth, and but even then, that gun is just not. It's not anything special. Honestly, it's not. I wouldn't recommend it. I would say this MXR completely destroys people. Kill some if you want a close range weapon, kill a Chalk, kill a Talon, and take their weapon because it's just not going to get better than that. Truth be told, I can move on, on a different video to talk about what my favorite guns are and what I think are the top 5 guns and weapons in this game. But we can say that for another time. But moving on, honestly, is just how this whole thing is going to work, basically, with Dahlia. So if I'm playing Dahlia, like I said, Lancer's top. And just team composition wise, I'd love to have somebody who's Smash Mouth in your face, like a Lancer. Then have either another person who's in your face, like a Talon, or have a medium range person, such as a Ronin, and then another medium range or close person. So just to recap, I know that may sound confusing. I know I didn't explain that properly. I'd want to have either 1 or 2 rush close range people, or 1 or 2 medium range people. Think Dima and Ronin ish characters, and then I'll have the Dahlia playing alongside one of them. Because think of the flexibility with that. You can play to your Lancer. If you have a Ronin, you can play to the Ronin. If you have those two are pretty good, and you can play to the strengths of each character. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't. It's tough for me to really say. The Phantom ability is really good, and that's why I feel kind of odd mentioning it as a special, but it's also like against what I'm telling you now about the team compositions. So with that said, pretty much, I do have to advise strongly against playing overall. But if you're trying to have fun, or if you have a Phantom God who is running up and just destroying people, click bang, click bang, click bang, then I would say run it and see how that goes. Because there are some Phantoms out there, I will admit, that you're running into them and it's like they have an aimbot on them. They're just click, boom, aim and boom. And you're like, how the hell did this guy kill me? So, with that said, like, the best way to go about playing Dahlia, just to recap, because I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. And if you guys want me to go more in depth, whether it's in the comment section or in another video, I can try to make it more apparent and clear. You definitely want to play alongside a Lancer. If not a Lancer, you want to play alongside, for now, a Ronin or a Trench. Trench you got to be careful with because you'll have 2 people playing back. Unless you both can play pretty decently medium range with your MXR, which is possible. But having 2 grenades is also very, very good. And definitely not something to sleep on. I wouldn't play alongside anyone else. I don't like having 2 people who play back because then you're kind of relying on the 2 guys out front to do the most of the rushing and the heavy lifting in that sense, unless the Phantom honestly is carrying and just running around sniping everyone. But honestly, like I said, you got to have 2 or 3 close or medium range, and the last one can be a far back, like a Saint, to support them, or a Dahlia, which I think Dahlia fits that comp so much better than Saint does because of the fast res that she has on that one direct person and just her abilities overall. Going over Dahlia's abilities, I know I didn't really touch upon that. I will say the number one you want to get is Lifeline when you get that chance. Get that Lifeline first. If you guys don't know what that is, you get to revive your teammates much faster, and they health regen up right upon res. So it's amazing. You want to get that one first. The next one I would say depending on the enemy team comp, if they're running heavy C4s, get Tenacity, because I'll tell you what, dying by C4s is annoying as heck, man. Let me tell you. Then I would, of course, while you're in the middle of this, you do want to try to level up your gun at the same time. I take everything all together. I do explain it better when I'm actually playing the game. I can explain my thought process. Say I have, $15,000 after round one. I'll end up buying Lifeline, and I'll buy one level on my MXR, kind of a thing. I don't kind of try to dip and buy two perks per round unless I'm in the later rounds where I get a lot of money and I already have my gun maxed out and my main perks bought. I'll normally buy the second perk during the second round if I have the money to do so. And so again, lastly to clarify, you want to play Dahlia with someone who's gonna match with you well. So number one, Lancer. Number two, we'll say Trench. The two grenades, very underrated. Number three, Ronin for now. That underground perk could be very useful, depending on your playstyle. And lastly, like I said, Star on Phantom. Don't sleep on Phantom, even though I don't like that comp normally. Just being able to damage someone and play that sniper role additionally could be very helpful to helping the other two guys push and finish that kill on you. So I wouldn't say sleep on that. Let me know what you guys think about that. Definitely something I would say try, because that could be something that's. It sounds unconventional, but it works. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. I look forward to keep uploading for you guys. Let me know what you think again, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.